In this video, I'll be using Dynamesh in conjunction with adaptive skin geometry, duplicating geometry using transpose, and finishing the object using hard edge brushes such as trim and polish. And just a few more things we want to add. Let's go ahead and add a chin strap so this helmet stays on him. And an easy way to do that is to go up to your subtool menu. Let's go ahead and append a Z-sphere. Grab the Z-sphere. And if you want to, you can move it up here inside of your mesh, but he's fine just where he is. We're just going to draw a chin strap using the Z-sphere. So with the Z-sphere selected, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom until we get to Topology. I'm going to click Edit Topology, and that'll put us in Drawing Topology mode. And with these objects showing, any topology we draw will actually stick to his mesh. I'm going to go ahead and hit X so it mirrors across the X-axis. So we can just draw one strap on both sides, mirrored. And with Edit Topology selected, and I'm in Draw mode, but you can hit Q. Let's go ahead and draw that strap. So let's go ahead and got kind of a fat chin here, so let's go ahead and draw a chin strap. And if you're having a hard time seeing this, you can actually drop, I have Matte Cap Pearl selected, I can drop this color here, so you can kind of see these orange lines a little bit better. There we go. And we'll go back one. And we'll just draw this chin strap here. And a quick and easy way to connect these is just to go from side to side. So I'm going to select this one and go back here, and then keep clicking back and forth. So this is a quick way to retopologize, is just going back and to draw two strips and then click back and forth to kind of fill those in. So now we've got our polygons here, and if I hit A, that'll show me a preview of my adaptive skin. Let's go ahead and turn our color back to white. And let's hit solo so we can see what we're doing. Right now, if I open this adaptive skin menu, you'll see the density is at 2, so it's giving it an extra subdivision here, which I don't want. I want to actually turn that back down to 1. And I also want to give this some thickness. So I'm going to go out of adaptive skin mode, and if you go down here to under the topology menu, you see skin thicknesses available to us. Let's type in, say, 0.1 and then hit A. And now we actually have thickness, but it went inside, so we want to actually go outside. And it's a little bit thick. So instead of positive 0.1, I'm going to do negative 0.05. Hit A, and there we go. We've got a nice thickness, and we've got our chin strap. Go ahead and hit solo. And you'll see, looks just about perfect to me. I'm going to hit Make Adaptive Skin. Go back up here to the subtool menu. Let's go ahead and append that skin Z-sphere we just made. Select that. We don't really need our Z-sphere anymore. I'm sorry, so go ahead and select Z-sphere and just delete that. So now we got our skin Z-sphere. Go ahead and hit X so we can edit this thing across an X-axis. Let's go ahead and move this out so it's a little bit straighter. Let's go ahead and tuck this in here. And if I turn on polyframe, one of the cool things about doing skin thickness is it'll actually crease these edges here. So if I go down to geometry and hit divide with the smooth modifier turned on, it'll keep these edges nice and crisp. And these are actually separate polygroups that you can use to your advantage as well. So you can see as I subdivide it, it'll get a nice smooth transition. It is smoothing, it is rounding these corners because these tops aren't creased. Let's go ahead and hit solo. You can see these tops aren't creased here. So go ahead and undo that. It's not a big deal. I actually kind of like that. But if you want to change that, let's go ahead and hit polyframe. All you need to do is hold down Control Shift, grab these top two polygons right here, and with those showing, go under your geometry menu, hit crease, and now it'll crease those top edges as well. So now when you subdivide with the smooth modifier on, it'll keep these top edges nice and crisp too. So you can keep subdividing that. Now, however, if you are subdividing and it gets too high and these edges are a little bit too crisp, hold down Shift and then click Uncrease to uncrease all your edges, and then hit Divide again. That'll give you a nice bevel. So now when I hit solo again, you see we've got an object, or our chin strap here, and it's nicely subdivided and smooth with a nice bevel. But let's go ahead and add a little bit of visual interest here. And by that I'm going to use the brush insert sphere. Let's go ahead and delete lower. Actually, let's go ahead and turn this into a Dynamesh so we can do a little bit more cooler stuff with this if we want to later on. I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to do a Dynamesh resolution of 256. Turn on Project. And it's going to ask me if I want to keep my subdivision levels. I'm going to go ahead and hit No. So now this is a nice even Dynamesh here. And let's go ahead and add some studs. So I'm going to hit BI for brush insert, and then I'm going to grab this insert sphere. And it'll insert them across the X-axis, which is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out a sphere here. And let's go ahead and make some more. The problem with drying out more spheres is that it's going to be hard to kind of keep them the same size as we go. One easy way around that is using the duplicate geometry functionality within transpose. So if you draw out a transpose line and you're in move mode, which is W, if you hold down Control and move the object, it'll actually create a duplicate on the fly. So you can just keep holding down Control and moving these. You can just keep dragging out copies here. And let's go ahead, these are poking out a little bit far. Let's go ahead and move those in just a little bit. Hold down Control and then drag. Hold down Control and just drag again. There we go. So nice evenly spaced studs here. And again, if you want to, you can go to your Dynamesh here, and since group is off, you can go ahead and Dynamesh all this into one solid mesh. And just one last thing before we head out. This doesn't really have anything to do with Dynamesh. But just one thing I want to do is make this a little bit more stylized. So just really quickly, I'm going to smooth down his features just a tad. And I'm going to use Trim Dynamic to kind of make this a little bit more stylized, a little bit more carved looking. You'll notice as I get towards this edge, it'll start pushing towards this back face here. In order to avoid that, I can hold down Alt, and that'll kind of build up straight back to that edge there. So just keep that in mind when you're using things like Trim Dynamic and Polish. You can hold down Alt to really get it to respect those edges. So use a combination of that. I'll hold down Alt to build up to a surface down here, and then I'll use Trim to kind of trim back to that surface. So using a combination of holding down Alt and then letting go of Alt, I can make some really quick hard edge shapes. Let's go ahead and fix up his nose here just a little bit. And again, we're just trying to get rid of that naturalistic look just a little bit. Make him a little bit more carved looking. And once I have kind of shapes that I like, what I can do is go in with a polish brush and just really refine, really smooth that surface out. So a combination with the smooth brush and the polish brush to really make these surfaces really shine here. And again, just holding down Alt when I get close to these joining edges. And speaking of smooth, you'll notice that your Dynamesh, it's mostly quads, but it'll actually start getting some triangles on these surfaces that aren't perfectly planar. So what you can do, if you're having trouble getting those to smooth correctly, I'm not having too much of a problem here, but every once in a while you'll notice something that doesn't smooth quite right. You can use ZBrush's different smoothing algorithm by holding down Shift to start smoothing and then let go of Shift. And that'll actually use a different smoothing algorithm. So if you're having problems or see any pinching or anything, use the different algorithm. And again, that's just holding down Shift to start smoothing and then let go of Shift and continuing to smooth. That'll be ZBrush's other algorithm for smoothing if you run into problems here. Let's go ahead and polish these up. And this kind of stuff looks really good when you put on like a chrome matte cap or something metallic. You can really see these surfaces start to sing. And I don't want to spend too much time doing this because this is a Dynamesh video, but you know, a little bit more stylized, a little bit more carved out of gold or plated metal or something like that. And I think we've got a nice gorilla mask here. And I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful learning the basics of Dynamesh in this way, and please continue to check back for more instructional videos on pixellogic.com.